This is my solo stealth camping budget Overland Tacoma build. I'm gonna start off with the camper shell. This thing is a must. I actually found this on Facebook Marketplace for about $500. I did have to drive to Sanford, Florida to pick it up, but it was in pretty good shape. I did have to buy new hardware to attach it to my bed, but what it brought was enough to at least get it from Sanford down to South Florida. When I bought it, it was actually silver, but I bought it for my charcoal Tacoma. So I sanded it down, I painted it charcoal to match that truck. Once I traded in that Taco for this one, I had to sand it down and color match it again to this truck. I do have a lot of experience in auto body. I was a painter at a body shop for over a decade. So it was a quick and easy thing for me, but honestly, it's not that hard to do. And with a little bit of practice, a $15 spray gun from Harbor Freight could give you really good results. So the next thing that you're gonna need, you don't really need this. You could build it out of wood. I, however, went with the decked drawer system. This is their Gen 1 drawer. It's been really good. I love it because it really allows me to organize my stuff. Ever since the Gen 2 came out, I've seen a lot of these popping up on Facebook Marketplace, again, for sub $400, which is a steal. This thing retailed for about $1,500 if I recall. What I do like about the deck drawer system is that it kind of forces you to only bring what you need, and it keeps it organized. That's why I like the Gen 1, because it is two separate drawers. And I'm gonna show you how I have these drawers rigged up in a minute, but now we're on to the rack system. I got the Thule roof rack aero bars, which are great. There's no noise when driving down the highway. Very aerodynamic. I got the Overland Vehicle Systems 270 awning. It actually wraps around the truck entirely. And I got the Thule rod vault. This is the Thule rod vault. It's been great. I've had it for 5 years now. Haven't had any failures. Now I'm gonna show you how I had it set up for sleeping on my recent trip. You know, this is a 5-foot bed, and the reason why I say it's a good solo stealth camping rig is because it's only a 5-foot bed. I'm about 5'9", 5'10". I gotta sleep diagonally across. And initially I was not a big fan of the 6-foot bed Tacoma, which is why I went with the 5-foot bed. However, now I really wish I would have gone with the 6-foot bed. However, this is still very doable for solo camping. I was a little skeptical if I wanted to invest on a very expensive mattress for the bed, which they do make some. I believe Hest makes a mattress for this 5-foot bed. It's about $600. And I was kind of questioning it. I didn't know if I would want to keep this setup or if I would prefer to go with like a rooftop tent, and those $600 could just simply go towards a rooftop tent. So I went ahead and I found these two mattresses on Amazon for about 60 bucks a pop. And the cool thing about them is they have Velcro, so you could stick them together and it becomes one larger mattress. So I went ahead and I got these two, which don't entirely fill the whole bed, but it gives me like 2 inches on each side between the bedside and the mattress, which is where I pretty much put like my little knickknacks and stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this and set it up. In an ideal world, they would be the right length, but they're not. They're actually about 6 foot long. So what I actually did was I extended it out and folded it down in here to sleep, and it filled the gap between the decked and the bed, which worked out great. However, when I wasn't sleeping, it was kind of weird to have just a big flap hanging out. So I'm probably gonna go ahead and cut these. I didn't cut them before my trip because I still wasn't sure if I didn't like the way it worked out, I was gonna probably return them to Amazon. But let me tell you, I slept incredibly. It was some of the most comfortable sleeping I've had in a long time. It was in the 40s outside, and sleeping in here felt great. I was not cold at all. So this is pretty much how the mattress comes. Just pull it out. Rolls up nice like so. Pop these two clips off and just lay it out. As you see right here, Velcro on the ends, and it has it on both mattresses, so you could connect them to each other on either side. So as you see, it does overlap like I mentioned, but I just fold it down. And once you're laying on it, it's super comfortable, but I'm gonna go ahead, measure it, and trim it to size now that I know that I truly enjoyed it. I would show you guys that process, but I really wanted to show you what to expect when you buy these yourself on Amazon. You will have to trim it if you want to. That's how the mattress is. Like I said, I have a small gap on both sides, but it works out great. Didn't have any issues with it. I just shoved this down. And close the tailgate, just like that. And once you're laying down in there, it's nice and comfortable. I didn't have any issues with it separating at all during the night. I brought a sleeping bag with me just in case it got really cold and I needed it, but I did not. I just had a nice little soft, comfy blanket with me, and I was able to sleep perfectly through the night. I slept in this thing 3-4 nights up in the mountains, and it was awesome. I truly loved it, and I can't wait till the weather cools down to be able to use this thing here in Florida. This is one of my drawers. Got a utensil set right here, Ozark Trail. Picked this up at Walmart, very affordable, super cheap. It was less than 20 bucks. Got everything you need right here. All kinds of utensils to eat, to cook, tongs, literally everything you're gonna need for utensils. This is a great pickup. I like to keep a couple hammocks with me because you never know when it's time to hammock. Got this little camping cook set. It's got a couple pots. It's got some pans. It worked out great. We actually used it for the beans on the trip because nobody else happened to have a pot, but I did. And this is something else I forgot to mention. These are blackout curtains I picked up on Amazon. It was about 12 bucks a pop. They make them the perfect exact size for the Tacoma topper windows. I will link this and the mattress in the description below. I went ahead and I picked the Velcro that has fabric glue on the back and stuck it straight onto this blackout curtain. And I didn't even have to attach anything to the camper shell because this camper shell is lined with carpet. So this Velcro sticks right onto that carpet and it works out great. Keeps the sunlight out and makes sure that nobody is gonna creep in on you. You know, the windows on this camper shell are tinted, but if you walk up to it and you peek through, you could eventually probably see something, but definitely not when the windows are blacked out with these blackout curtains. And got this in like a slightly darker gray than my truck, which turned out great. Got my other drawer here with random tools and such. I got the other two curtains right here. The two side windows are one size and the back window is a different size. And I will have those linked separately in the description below. Got this decked insert right here for just like loose tools and things that I need quickly in and out. I utilized this one for my stove. So I made this little insert out of wood here. Nothing fancy, like I said, on a budget with some scrap wood I had around the house. So what I do, I pull out this insert right here, slide this, drop my stove like so, attach my propane, and I'm ready to go. Because this camper shell is lined, I don't have to put any backing on there. Just like that, it just sticks on. Works out great. Close this up, and you cannot see inside. You know, these blackout curtains are a must for stealth camping. Bought these little pouches at Harbor Freight, great for putting little knickknacks in. I got more straps in here for the awning and such, and I have another one that's filled with, you know, just handy tools, an open-end set. I got some zip ties in the other one as well. Just things you might need while you're out there overlanding and camping in the wilderness. And the good thing about this setup from the deck drawers, it also has what they call ammo cans or, you know, additional boxes on the side. In this one, I have 4 propane tanks in here. This one, I just have more handy tools, things I might need while on the trail that you never know. Now, I'm not opposed with going with something like the Hest. However, you know, at a fraction of the price, this definitely got the job done. I'm not against spending money, but I am all for spending money wisely where you need to spend it. And this is getting the job done for me, and I don't have a reason to go with the Hest because I do ultimately, I plan on adding a rooftop tent for when I'm gonna camp with the family, or if I just need more cargo space. This is another handy product. This is called the Sun Strip from a company by the name of Rig Strip. This hole in the center, this is for your mountain bike grip or your e-bike grip if you want to rig it up next to the truck. These slots here are for fly rods to just stand them upright. You don't have to worry about them falling over. And these two outside ones are for shotguns. And this is awesome. It's a magnet. It sticks to the side of your truck like so. And you can easily hold fly rods up and not have to worry about the wind knocking them down or keep your mountain bike upright. Now I want to talk to you about another very important component, and that is trout routes. Yes, this video is sponsored just like my main film, but I truly use trout routes. I've been using trout routes for about 3 years now. If you're visiting a new area, I could give you some knowledge about what trout you can find where, and that is all fine and dandy, but what I truly enjoy from it is the very immersive mapping systems, the fact that it connects to your Apple CarPlay. Another aspect I love about it is water flow and the logging capabilities. I understand it's called trout routes, but I catch a lot of tarpon because of this app. I have a link in the description below where you could utilize it and get 20% off any new pro subscription accounts. Trout Route's offline map system is what allowed me to get to the spot where these guys were camping when I had no cell signal. I remember that I had downloaded the map 2 years prior. I was able to find it in my contents tab, load the map in, and get to my destination safely because of trout routes. There's times where I'm driving down the highway, ditch catches my eye or pond catches my eye. I go ahead and I drop a pin into trout routes, and then I could investigate that spot later. You see this right here? These are all pin drops I have saved all over Florida. West Coast, East Coast, Central Florida, all the way up. Got pins in the mountains. And like I said, I utilize this app for a lot of stuff. And if I click on the My Contents tab right here, My Contents, you can see that I have the map saved, and I could switch over to markers. And these are all the markers that I saved on here. And you can see these markers date back to 2023. I'm not making this up. I've been using this app for years. You see, maybe tarpon, maybe tarpon 2, maybe tarpon 3, tarpon hole. You know, I saved this in December of 2023. Maybe tarpon 4, tarpon definite. Try this for tarpon. Try here for tarpon. I'm not making this stuff up, guys. I've really been using this app for a long time, and it has helped me catch more fish. If you really want to support this channel, support those who support me and give it a shot. My mics died on the big camera, so I had to break out the GoPro. I intended to film a video showing you guys how I make the ultimate camp coffee on my overlanding setup here, but I'm running out of daylight, ran out of battery on my microphones, so make sure you subscribe to not miss it out. It is a tutorial on how to make Cuban coffee authentically on a stovetop, which is perfect and ideal for camping adventures because there is no espresso stronger than Cuban coffee. When I say stronger, I don't mean flavor profile, I mean caffeine. The recommended single serving size is about 1 ounce. If that's any indication of how strong this coffee is, 1 ounce is typically the single serving. Make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on all things from skiff builds, fly fishing adventures, coffee tutorials, overlanding setups, fly rod breakdowns, all kinds of stuff, fly time videos. I'm just a guy out here doing it myself in South Florida, catching fish and bringing you guys along the journey.